It stands for...
You know what? Fuck. Never mind. I'm gonna leave all that. I don't know how to find that information without doing the quest again.
3, 2, 1.
Archers, attack! Keep firing! Let none escape! Another down! Do not relent!
It's right at the Scarlet Halls and Camping Rustfeather. I'm Slidewhistle.
I am Immunization.
And I'm Aaron, Fire Mage Extraordinaire, and Horde Punching Bag.
This is episode 31 of Do Not Relent. And guess who's flying, boys?
I am.
And
Not me.
When did I get flying? I got flying like...
You got it 2 or 3 days before I did, but you got it really early on, it felt like. You were probably one of the first non-humans to get it, honestly.
I meant to check my achievement before we recorded this, but I forgot to do so. So I'm just going to say...
I was hanging out with Uncle Larry.
Uncle Larry? Does he have flying unlocked?
Nope, but he does have a knife that saved his fracking company $15 million. Wow. He told me several times and then pulled it out to show me the blade.
Wait, I have a question here. How does a knife save a fracking company?
Do you know what? That one's on me because he did tell that story many a
you don't
time.
Remember it?
I do not remember because Uncle Larry was very drunk and was brandishing a knife, and I was in critical survival mode at that point.
Sounds like me during this podcast.
Sly doesn't talk about it, but you're often swinging around a knife in the studio.
Yeah, I try to avoid mentioning it because it's very terrifying, much like Uncle Larry and his fracking knife.
Uncle Larry also lives in a hotel. He's like a cartoon character.
Uncle Larry sounds like a frightening creature that I don't ever want to meet. I guess WoW-related stuff. I decided that I was tired of forgetting things I was going to mention on the podcast. So I have a whiteboard that I haven't used in a while next to my computer, and I filled it with things that I did this week. Holy fucking shit, man. This board is completely filled.
God, we're going to be so organized now. This is going to be awful.
We're professionals now.
Well, you say that, but, like, this board's a hot mess. Like, I'm trying to figure out what I meant with some of these things that I wrote on this board. Like, I just wrote the word tamed. Oh, never mind. I see what's... Okay. See, I can't even tell what's connected. But anyway, I just did so much shit this week, and I feel like recording this podcast is wasting my time right now. I have reps to grind.
I won't be doing my dailies today.
You did have us take several steps in the pre-production meeting to increase efficiency, not for the sake of like, oh, let's make a better product, let's make sure we streamline things. It's like, I have to get rep, so I'm going to need you to cut your shit out.
Yeah, this is serious business because I need to... I didn't finish an Aszhara. I'm doing every single thing. I'm doing all the dailies. I'm doing all the world quests. I'm doing all of the shenanigans, and I haven't even Mechagon yet. And it's raid night, and it's gonna be a long night. But I need to do this because I have to get exalted with Rust Bolt Resistance, so I can have Blingtron 7000. I need to have this boy. I haven't seen it yet, and I want to throw one down.
I need this toy that will give me Cloakmaster 534s. I know the exact number because he's given it to me so many times.
Listen, it's useful. 6 seconds of invisibility if you stand still. It's fantastic.
And 11 silver.
You're rich. I feel like our format is so shaken up right now because I just want to talk about literally everything. But I guess we'll just start with the basics. And Aaron, what did you do in Warcraft this week?
Well, I decided to take a little vacation for the holiday to Pennsylvania.
Vacation, all you ever wanted.
Vacation, have to get away.
Uncle Larry's brandishing a fracking knife. Dun, 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 dun.
I did bring my computer, but I wasn't about to bust it out and be like, "Excuse me, I have dailies to run." Well, at this family reunion.
If your uncle can like whip out his fracking knife, you can whip out your PC and start doing your natural dailies.
This is the computer that saved Aszhara like 17 times. How you feel about that, Lair Bear? But I just managed to play today as of the recording. But I was just, running dailies. My fish friend gave me a special gift, so that was really nice. It was just some honor points, but Blade Master Inawari himself personally gave it to me, and he was like, "Our friendship is growing. I want you to know that you can always trust me."
He has such prophetic things to say at just the right moments.
And then, shortly before I came to the production meeting, I was war mode on in Mechagon, and I was running around killing kids, and that one was fun because we managed to shart ourselves onto one where there were just very, very puny horde. So we were running around. Sometimes they try and fly, and someone would net them, and it'd be like, "Hey, time down, we got them." And it was just a real hootenanny.
Look like good old hold on hootenanny.
Get out the barbecue sauce.
Yeah.
We're gonna eat them with mechanical giblets.
Oh, I hate that quest so much.
I got my giblets in the bag.
Man, we're just a Broadway musical today, aren't we? We got all kinds of songs built up.
So, Slide, what did you do in the World of Warcraft?
I have done so much. I feel like I've only been playing this game and doing nothing else. Let's see. I got flying unlocked. We already know that. Currently, my Rustbolt rep is sitting at like 15k to Exalted. Or, no, sorry. 15k into Revered. So what? It's like 6k left to Exalted. I haven't done any like old world quests. If I would have farmed world quests, I'd have a lot more rep. But I've been doing a lot of rare hunting in Mechagon. I have so many blueprints. I think I only need like 6 or 5 more blueprints, and I have them all. Ooh, I have the Fabius mount. I took a selfie with our boy Fabius.
I saw it. You casually pulled it out in raid, and then kind of like nudged your way next to me, and I'm like, I'm not going to give him the satisfaction.
Everyone look at me.
He knows he has that cool thing, but I'm not going to tell him, what a cool mount, you cool guy.
But wait, it gets better, because today I got a better Fabius. I got the Crimson Tide Stallion, which is the red version, and it has armor on it, because I bought a taco from my boy Murloco, or is it Murloco? I think it's Murloco.
I think it's like a Four Loko joke.
More loco, bro.
So I bought one of Murloco's tacos. I held on to it for like 8 days and waited for the Tide Stallion to appear in the Murloc trading game, which I finally started to do. And holy shit, that's really annoying. Having to buy 800 pieces to trade to another Murloc for 400 pieces to keep trading for nonsense. But I got it, and it looks cool. I just feel like if I were to list everything I've done, it would take forever. So I'll just leave it at that. What about you, Mean? What'd you do this week and WoW?
Well, that was already a lot you listed, and I think mine overlaps a little bit. I also got flying this week. Something that we did for the very first time since the last time we recorded was that the three of us, did PvP Islands.
Oh my god, I forgot. That felt like it was so long ago. But
wow, that was a trip. And that was like 8 days ago.
Yeah, I felt like that was like last month.
I feel like it was also hit or miss because a lot of people were running them.
Guess you didn't miss, huh? Got a boyfriend, but he doesn't kiss you.
Everyone was running them to make progress towards getting that one new essence. We had never done them before. We didn't know what to expect. So like our first 2 games, we got completely rolled by people who assumedly do this often.
I mean, I guess if you just do enough islands, you probably know how to clear them the fastest, and that's something that we are not good at.
There was not a lot of get up and go when we would fight things. It's like, hit the crab. Okay. I mean, I guess. And I saw like their score jump up by 3,000. I'm like, how?
I'm like, wait a second. Let me pull up my map. We could go this way or that way. Or, oh, hey, look, a chest over there.
5,000 more.
Yeah. Well, and the one that we won was like a nail biter.
Yeah.
I'd never had an island be a nail biter before, and that was scary.
But yeah, in addition to that, just I've been doing like all my dailies every day. I got the mechanical spider mount from Mechagon yesterday.
Ooh,
Nizu.
And somehow in the middle of all that, I had a few hours I set aside, and I started the new content on my druid as well.
Wait, when was that?
I don't know, it was a few days ago.
Wow, look at you.
Look at you, Mr. Big Shot. Mr. Alt Runs.
Speaking of that Mechano spider, I think I'm fairly confident in making this guess. I think that bad boy is going to be flying soon. I think we're going to get some quest to make it fly. Because if you use the Mechano spider, the rusty Mechano crawler, or there's another one that drops off of the big spider in Mechagon, it transforms into a water mount. It doesn't just swim. It like Transformers morphs into like a submarine almost.
Yeah, so we noticed it last night when we were in raid fighting the entirely underwater boss, and when you summon the mount, it is a completely different mount. It's a submarine, and it has like propeller jets in the back.
Propeller jets in the back. It's so hard to not.
Yep, that one. But
I wish I could say I had Wranglers on my booty, but I haven't seen my pants forever, because I'm a mage.
But yeah, speaking of raid, we can slide on into our raid
That's
progress.
Huh?
That's me.
What?
You said slide.
That's him.
Me. That's me.
Slide on in?
Well, come on in, baby.
Yeah. When we were going, we can all Aaron on into the raid.
We're going on. Yeah, we're gonna immune on into the raid now.
Okay.
He's not a fan. He's not a fan of the joke.
Well, you can transition now since you messed up my flow.
We're gonna immune on into the raid now. We did it. Half of normal.
we did it. We went into it and we didn't leave for 3 hours.
I thought the fights were really interesting, or at least most of them. I feel like the least inspired fight so far was sadly the Ashvane fight. I feel like nothing really happened during it.
Okay, yeah. So wait, so the first 4 bosses we beat. What are? I don't know their names yet.
Let's start back at the beginning. The first fight, boss fight, is against Commander Aszhara, and its main mechanic was kind of like Maiden of Virtue and what was that Nighthold?
No, and
It was Tomb of
Sargeras. I always confuse those two, and I don't know why. So she marked half the raid with a frost thing and half of it with the necrotic plague thing. You have to stay separated apart, and if you group up too close together, you blow things up. And the mechanic I liked the most during this fight was at certain parts she like surrounded herself in like these shards of ice and these shards of like green gas, and then she launched them out one by one so you could like see and dodge. I thought that was cool.
It sounds fun. But then you have to add on that trinket from fucking Crucible of Storms that I have that fires purple bolts at me. I had to dodge purple bolts and blue bolts at the same time in one go, and I was like, please, no.
Well, whose fault is that?
Aaron's.
It's mine. That boss is going, I can already tell, is going to be a pain in the anus, because one of the healers was talking about it when he died, and I definitely saw it too. Luckily, I had like shield and cauterize and stuff like that. You get damaged if you stand next to people who have the wrong sign, and she'll like hit you with an attack and shift it, but that can last anywhere but from like a couple seconds to like a millisecond. I swear, there was a time where she was like, "Get ready to change." Green, blue, and I was like, "What?" And it suddenly cauterized, and I was like, "You're not supposed to do that. You're supposed to give me time."
Yeah, I heard that like 1 or 2 of our healers said that they spent most of the fight just running back and forth trying to make it to the other side where they're supposed to be, but then they were switching halfway over. They're like, okay, I guess I'll turn back around.
It was tough enough on normal. I mean, we're hashtag epic heroic raiders. I'm not looking forward to that fight, because like you're gonna get it wrong for a half second, and it's gonna be like, you fall over.
I think the mechanics are going to get the guild because our guild struggles with hard mechanics sometimes, and so it's like, come on, guys. For me, personally...
Come on, guys.
Come on, guys. I love that fight because I was one color the entire time. Only at the very end did I turn green.
Boo!
I turned green, and then I turned back to blue, like everybody said, and then I died. But it was at the very end. I feel like DBM was breaking during that because it wasn't displaying like my colors over my head. I had to keep watching like my tiny debuff next to my mini map, and I was like, oh, I think I'm blue still. Okay, I'm blue still. Okay, because everybody had like diamonds and squares over their heads.
Next time we're in there, you also toot your color.
Huh.
Like you sweat blue and you sweat green. I noticed that when at the end, I was like, wow, I'm just really a light show right now.
Yeah, I was ignoring the like GBM forcing you to like say what color you are in an emoji above your head and just looking at like the aura around my character's icon, so I knew like what I was.
Well, that's good to know. Also, this lady is the one who Sabara is the one who was a friend of Thorissa, right?
Thalrithra, yeah, the leader of the Nightborn.
Yeah. Speaking of her, like I think in between this boss and the next boss, you follow her, and she like is leading the way. She's like, "Come on, champions," which is awkward for the Alliance because she chose the wrong faction.
Oh my god!
But at one point, she goes up and stands like over the ledge and looks down to see what's ahead, and pretty much all in unison, our entire guild is like, "Hey, someone push her."
My favorite was Cass. Cass
People
literally
were slash spitting.
Cass is my favorite. Cass is like this sweet, like older lady who's so fun, and she said, "Push her!" And the way she said it was so sincere and so funny. And then somebody, was it Rosh?
Yeah, I think Rosh.
Yeah, Rosh was like, she's getting a lot of hate tonight. And like everyone immediately fired back. Like, she chose wrong, she chose the Horde. Like, we did all this, we chose wrong.
Yeah, and then everyone was like, after everything we did for her and all of them, they just so easily leave us.
Fuckers. But yeah, that fight was okay. And you know what's crazy though is that a lot of these mechanics, I really hope that on Heroic they add a lot more. But I mean, I would say normally they do. Like, a lot of the fights on normal feel bare bones. But also, I didn't look up any videos, and I don't want to. When Lynn was talking, I almost wanted to take off my headset because I want to have a surprise fight. I want to just do a fight. I want to just do a fight not knowing anything. And I want us to figure it out organically. Something about watching videos... I
listen to him, and I don't know what's going on.
Something about watching videos beforehand, I feel like it takes the magic out of it. I feel like if you just kind of go in and just try to, like, bash your head against it and be like, okay, we got to separate. Like, I don't know.
Yeah, but you can only do that so long, before you...
I don't know. Having been fairly current for, like, Aszhara lore, I feel like we can afford ourselves some time to just sort of goof around and figure it out.
Mm-hmm.
Because once we got Daza, we had it for, like, months. And I was like, I really want to go back to when we didn't know things. I'm like, oh, this is fresh and new versus, like, I can walk away and my game will automatically, just from muscle memory and key memory, know what to do.
We kind of got that on the second fight on the Blackwater Behemoth, let me tell you. Also, fun fact, for the longest time, I pronounced the word Behemoth as Behemoth because I only knew him from Kingdom Hearts, the name Behemoth. So I'd say
and I guess,
Behemoth.
Did they say it wrong in Kingdom Hearts?
No, they never say it, but I read it like Sephiroth.
He's also in Final Fantasy, right?
A behemoth?
No, yeah, it's he's like a summon, but maybe. Not that goofy big bull guy. The behemoth is.
I knew him in Final Fantasy X, and the main summoner person would always summon him as like her ultimate, basically.
Behemoth, something so much cooler. But yeah, Behemoth was a really cool fight.
Yeah,
definitely very unique.
Yeah, that's definitely unique. There's nothing that we've had quite like that. Is an underwater fight. I personally hated the mechanic where you had to suck up the pufferfish guts or else you would not be able to be healed. And let me tell you, there were quite a few people who didn't bother going to clear this debuff on them. I'm like, bitches, come on. Like, I can't do anything else. Like, you're gonna die. I had to literally pull a few people into it. I'm like, either this or you die.
But even before that was deep water breathing mushroom gate, in which we made it to the boss, and all of a sudden it was like there was like 4 people who were like constantly on the verge of dying. It's like, oh no, like what's hitting us? It was like, did you take the mushroom?
And I was like,
did you take the mushroom?
I was like, wait, what mushroom?
And it's just like as these people were like trying to get healed, crawling back, and then Lynn just is like, grab the shroom, always grab the shroom.
They were fighting for their lives. Immune was drowning.
I did not know what happened. I thought that, like, if you, on the way down there, like, killed a pufferfish and had that on you, then you were fine. But no, there was actually a mushroom you had to touch, too. So.
It's also funny because everybody in Guild and now called it a mushroom, but it's actually membrane, which is even grosser because what are we eating? What are we consuming that it's an oxygen-filled membrane? I don't like that.
Mushroom membrane.
You just come back from beating that boss, and Aszhara's like, champions, you did it! And then you just like look her in the eye, like, you don't even understand the sacrifices I made down there. I ate a membrane to kill that big goofy fish.
I kind of feel like I was lied to about this fight. Now, I haven't watched any videos, but people kept repeatedly saying it's an underwater fight that's not really underwater because the boss moves from side to side on the outside.
Oh, bitch, come on.
This fight was completely underwater.
What else were they talking about? You're literally floating around because you're suspended in water.
Yeah, I don't know. And it sucks because I'm a frost mage, so I'm trying to do my just my combos like on the way down. I'm trying to Comet Storm freeze things, and I keep missing my Comet Storm or missing my freeze because you have to target the ground with it, and I'm like, I think it's here.
Girl, don't even get me started about Meteor.
Yeah, your Meteor. Yeah, oh no!
I had to wiggle my way because also Meteor, its range isn't as long as you think. I had to wiggle next to the Barracuda, like, here we go, and I had to watch it like sail a mile the other way. I was like, fucking.
I'm just imagining a complete whip.
Also, can we just imagine the visual of a giant flaming meteor spawning underwater
and missing completely?
Because it's as much as it's like, oh, it came from space, it's here in the air. It hits the ground, so it doesn't hit him. So I'd cast it and I'd look at like his little bar and I wouldn't see the meteor thing and I'd be like, oh, never mind.
Yeah, and I was a fool. I was running the essence that causes the big azurite beam to come from the sky, the purification protocol, because I don't have the one that's good for frost mage yet. Like, I don't have the best one, so I was using that, and man, I just kept missing that completely underwater. It's just, but like, I feel like the fear of that fight was so cool when you have to swim across like the vast ocean through the jellyfish.
Yeah, it was jellyfish. It was a straight up like Finding Nemo mini game where you're like bouncing amongst the jellyfish to get to the other platform. But if you look down, it's just pure darkness, and it was very scary.
Have you seen my son?
His name is Nemo. He's got a little fin. Yeah, no one talks about the fact that you have to make sure to pick up the picture of Nemo before you do that boss fight, or else you won't get the secret ending.
Wait, what sea creature attacked Nemo's mom? Was it a sea snake?
It's a big ass barracuda.
like the Blackwater behemoth.
Dun dun dun.
Oh wow. Shit! The Pixar verse and WoW are related. That's why I keep seeing Sully and Coltiris. Hey, it's me, John Goodman. What's going on? Did anyone get 8 when
8?
We?
No. But I was so afraid I was going to be eaten because I was like, okay, I'm going to go to this next pufferfish to break it. Because you have to kill pufferfish to get like this green bioluminescence that you run through. And so I was trying to get ahead of the curve, AOTC pufferfish. And I was swimming across the other way to get it. And as I was crossing that black, vast ocean in the middle of the map, it was like, ba-da-bum. What is it? It's like, gaze. It's like, deep water gaze.
You are being watched because I know gaze I did accidentally. I'm like no as I like blinked backwards like don't want to get eaten.
Yeah, and Pride Month may be over, but the gaze from the depths are here.
Yeah, that's what it's called. Because when our raid lead was explaining what the mechanic was, he said, "Okay, so you want to look out for the gaze from the depths, and he had that space that was just good enough. I was like, wait, what? The gays? The gays are in this raid? We're here? But no, it was the other gays. I did not get eaten. Did you get eaten?
No one got eaten, but
no. As much as I wanted to catch like one of the less skilled guys, the guys who usually go down in these things, as much as I wanted to turn back and see them get snapped up and go, oh, stupid asshole.
I actually wanted to see what this giant ash fish or whatever it was, because we weren't sure what it was, because like everyone was debating what it would be. We never saw it.
I bet you on Heroic we're going to see it. I bet you the cooldown's a lot, or the timer's a lot shorter on Heroic. We're going to get eaten up a lot. And I feel like this fight this raid so far has a huge amount of knockbacks. Have you guys felt this? I feel like I'm always getting knocked back.
Don't even get me started about the next guy.
Oh boy, well I guess we can go right there. We can go next to the Radiance of Aszhara.
Radiance of Aszhara is nothing but inconvenient waves that knock me into the storm. So, and it's like, and when you're in the storm, you get slowed. So I'm just slow, and by the time I make it to the ad we have to kill, it's like it falls over, and I'm like, wow, I'm glad I just got beat up for that whole part.
This fight, I did not realize was going to be basically, what was that boss called in the Eye of Aszhara?
Wrath of Aszhara.
Yeah, it was like Wrath of Aszhara 2.0, the re-upped pink print. And I was really not having it because it was like a million tornadoes, and these tornadoes would knock you across the map, which would knock you into an ad, which would knock you back into the water, which would slow down your haste and movement by like way more than I needed it to. It was very annoying. I died because I didn't know that you were supposed to stand in the giant storm, which looks very uninviting. Yeah, I was not a fan of that fight.
Ugh.
I barely got any hands on the ball on that one. I just got beat up like little by little, and then eventually he fell over, and I was like, I contributed.
Yeah, I'm afraid to see how hard Heroic will knock us back and how much harder it'll be to get off my casts. No, thank you. It was an alright fight. I mean, it just was kind of poopy or whatever. But Lady Ashvane on normal, we gotta talk about this one.
We already kind of did. It felt like it was missing something.
Yeah, we just kind of beat her up, and there was big coral crystals, but I didn't see them doing anything.
Yeah, and Ashvane targeted most of the raid with different, like, symbols of Azurite, but I wasn't sure what we were supposed to do. I don't think anyone was really sure what we were supposed to do. We just all kind of got out of the raid, and then everything seemed to be okay.
Well, Lynn explained it, but I was doing my I don't want to hear these strats method. But even then, like, it wasn't apparent what these five symbols meant right off the bat. I kind of just, when I had it on me, I just stood away from everybody else and assumed that, like, I don't stack symbols. And we all always stood in a perfect, like, crescent moon, like a nice little curve. So, and then we broke coral.
It is.
Wait, what is it? Tell me.
You'll shoot energy between each other in a line, so you just want to make sure, allegedly, that you're in line with a coral. That said, I'm unsure how it goes between people, because I was part of the last group to have to do that. Someone stood between coral, then Lynn, then coral, then me. It did theirs, and then when it went to me, it just kind of arced around in a circle, and I was like, I mean, okay, and I just walked away.
Deal.
So you're supposed to use it to destroy the coral that's spawning throughout the fight?
Yeah, but then at the same time, I mean, the coral needs to be destroyed because, like, the guide tells you to, but I never saw it do anything.
Yeah, what does the coral do? I didn't see it do anything either.
I think it may have gotten in the way of my line of sight for healing.
So just like, it's like, hey, you can't see. Hey, I'm covering your eyes.
Yeah, that's all I can think of.
It probably does more if you don't break it or if enough spawn. But again, I'm not looking anything up, so I'm really going in blind on this one. So not the best thing to try to figure out, I guess, when the information's out there.
The only part of it I did enjoy, though, was right before she dies, she did pull out her previous Sexiest NPC of the Week trophy and said, at least I still have something.
Yeah, she was like, thank you, Aszhara, for making me powerful. Thank you, Do Not Relent, for naming me Sexiest NPC of the Week.
I hope you're stronger on Heroic. Which she has to be. There's no way she's not.
She's going to be the one to beat us up on heroic, and I'm going to be so excited. I'm going to be like, yes! Slay! Me!
But we have to talk about my favorite boss. My favorite Italian dish, orgonzola. It's a beautiful pasta.
Orgonzola meatball.
You've got to beat him fast, but not too fast, or else you fall over. And then Ross says, oh, excuse me, why did we all die?
Although I was part of that group that died because I guess when you're like going in between the phases, all of a sudden you have to chase. Well, first off, as soon as Orgonzola gets to like whatever 70% health, he pieces the fuck out. Like he flew off faster than I've ever seen. Like
he kicked off his heels and he was running down that ramp. And I'm like, oh shit.
Yeah, so you have to chase him down this ramp with all these things falling on you. And I guess if you don't make it to the end before the boss is interrupted or something like that, everyone on the ramp dies. So I was in that crew that died because I wasn't there yet.
This fight is so far as I think my favorite fight, because like the fact that you're just in a boss room and then he just leaves and you chase him. But like we've had this before with that guy from Argus, the hunter guy who makes the fun trap wall for you to cross, like the great obstacle course.
Good old Hunter. I was gonna say Inuari, but that's wrong. It's like Ignoth or something. I hate him. I never saw the end of that fight.
Oh boy. Yeah, it's kind of like that. Only it feels so much better because you have to run down the spiral staircase through the hatchery. You're chasing them. You're getting them. But we only got to get one pull on them before it ended because we haven't raided in a little bit altogether, and we had a lot of add-ons to update. I had to update my add-ons. Aaron had to update his add-ons. People kept trickling in late to raid. So we started 40 minutes after our start time?
Yeah, we started at 9:30 when we normally start at 9, and then we down the first boss, and then we had to wait more in between, and then people who were arriving late had to update their add-ons. So it's probably out of our normal 2.5 hours, we probably raided an hour 45.
We did only have to pull the Barracuda boss twice. We one-shot everything, so I think just it takes a while to get around there.
Yeah, and I think a lot of it too was just raid explanations.
Speaking of raid, Growlina's back from her recent 2-week vacation to talk about this raid's most talked about feature, the fashion.
Hello, listening audience. Growlina here, relaxed, refreshed, and ready to give you the news you crave. Today we're here with TurboTax. Turbo, my man. What are you most excited for in 8.2?
Definitely the new raid. New bosses, new gear. It's gonna be great.
Speaking of new gear, have you had a chance to look at it yet?
Yeah, I have.
So as a clothy like myself, what are your thoughts?
It looks awful. Absolutely awful.
Oof, Turvo. Strong words, but ones I don't know if I disagree with. What about them sets you off so?
The helmet looks confusing. The shoes are just toe thingies. And the shoulders look kind of basic.
You're preaching to the choir, my friend. At least you don't have to squeeze it over a big, goofy Worgen head.
LOL.
Don't laugh at my head. It's the only one I got. Well, it looks like we'll both be taking advantage of WoW's new Hide Everything feature. Till next time, I've been Growl, and it's great to be back.
Excellent reporting, Growlina. I see your time away from the microphone didn't dull your sharp wit.
Always a smart one, that detective.
She's always on the prowl.
Da-da-da-da-da. I have been loving 8.2.
What?
I love it.
Hot take.
Yeah. I have a couple bones to pick with it, though. I don't know.
Did someone say bones?
Oh, no. No, get her out of here.
Did someone say bones?
There are no bones
Get out of
here.
here. You
No
already
bones.
did your part.
Have you guys done much rare hunting in Aszhara? Because I am so upset at how plain Jane these fucking rares are.
Yeah, I have. And I didn't even know I was hunting them because I wasn't trying to, because they don't look special. It's like if all of the rares in Mechagon were just the Enforcer. Enforcer looks like just any other robot, but in Aszhara, every rare looks like just anything else you could find literally anywhere else in the world.
Like, there's a rare called, I think it's Mire Crawler. Mire Crawler is literally just a slug. He's not even a large slug. He's the same size slug
I
as
love
a
that
critter.
one.
I
love that one because he's so small, and I come by and like 17 guys are just beating the shit out of him. And I was like, are you stomping down a child? And then like I tab target. I was like, oh, it's Mire Crawler.
Like, there's so many like that, and it's so bizarre. Like, why wouldn't they make them like big and special? Like, yeah, in Mechagon, some of them are like just robot looking guys, but I would say the majority of them are pretty cool looking and pretty unique.
Yeah, or they're like in an area that you could tell it's where they are, so they're more of a spectacle. It's more of like, oh, a rare spawns here, and it looks like a rare.
Yeah, I mean, I guess the spider is just, I guess they're just big spiders, but they're big. They're huge spiders. Enforcer's one I can think about that's like pretty small or pretty regular, and Mr. Fix-It, he's just like a mechanome, but there are no other mechanomes there. So like,
Yeah, but as I said, he's on a giant-ass platform by himself.
It's true. Yes, and he has his boys.
I feel like a lot of it was because half of Nazjatar's denizens are people we're, air quotes, supposed to work with. Like, I feel like you could get a lot of cool Gilbin or Scrog bad guys, but those are like the Horde's buddies.
So, bad guys. Oh!
Oh, hey!
Yeah! Yeah, bad guys.
Yeah! Fuck 'em! Yeah!
What was it you guys said you guys wanted to do when you grew up? Take care of the
Bad
Bad
guys.
guys.
We can't keep that in. Get it?
I will leave the show if that doesn't make it in the edit.
Okay, fine. But then, on top of them not being the rare or the most like cool looking, people need to slow their fucking roll on killing these rares so fucking fast. B, Blizzard needs to buff their health more. They call out like, by the way, Den Mother's Snaggletooth's up, and that one has no health and no armor. You can kill that thing by yourself in like 10 seconds.
A lot of it is, though, as we've alluded to in, I believe, last episode, there is like no sense of community or teamwork in Nazjatar. You're like on your own. In Mechagon, everyone works together. Everyone's like, oh, everyone come on in, kill this boss together. We'll wait for you. We'll go slow. But no, in Nazjatar, it's literally just you against 25 Horde if you have War Mode on, and especially if you don't have flying, you're just stuck at the bottom of the ocean. It's miserable. You're alone. You don't see anything besides like a slug, maybe.
Yeah, if you're in Aszhara and you find a rare, please just say it's up. That's all you have to do. Don't start hitting it by yourself and trying to kill it, because I'm sitting here, I need one more rare to get. I need rep. I need mana pearls. Help me.
In their defense, they probably don't know it's a rare.
They probably did think it's just a regular mob.
Especially because the rares featured like the nice dragon border or whatever, but so do the elite Naga, which there are 70,000 of in every mob.
Oh, they're rough and tough and tumbling. But fuck them. We're talking about rares. I'm gonna pull a Time Warp. Sweaty Gummo gave me her blessing. She could not be here. She's here in spirit. I may just have taken it because I want it back. I'm a mage, damn it. We need to have the show again.
Amen fashion.
All right. So, we're talking about rares, right? You guys will have
Of course.
40 seconds, the length of a time warp, if you didn't know, to name as many of this category as you can. Category is named rares in Mechagon. Go.
Rust Feather,
Rusty
Mr.
Prince,
Fix This, Enforcer, Rumble Rocks,
like Overgrown,
Mecha Tarantula,
like Gorilla,
Beastbot,
I've been to Mechagon like 3 times.
the Murloc guy, the Kleptobot,
the
or
goo,
boss,
the goo. I don't know his name. I just found him today.
Bondo
The
guy
goo
in the
that's cave.
alternate timeline, the Rusty
The
Prince,
big barracuda.
the deep water maw thing, the
Time!
I don't know any of these things' names.
I thought maybe because I saw you in Mechagon all day today when I was home, I thought maybe you were just hunting rares and you
No, I was just doing Mechagon, baby. I saw like 1.
I thought maybe.
And it was that goo guy whose name I didn't look at because I was too busy fighting him.
His name is Foul Manifestation, or as the chat says, Foul Manny. And I always say, well, what about a Foul Perry? And nobody ever responds to me.
I mean,
that's your moons over my hammy, but it doesn't work.
it's funny because Slide said that in person to me, and I also didn't respond.
Oh, wow, yeah, that's real funny. Real funny.
Went over like a lead balloon.
I mean, Immune won that. I guess I counted on Immune remembering less and Aaron maybe getting cutting rares while he was there, but I don't know. So
I knew Rusty Prince because you said it an episode ago.
Oh, we killed him. He's pretty tough. He's the most health boss there is, I think.
And we have our alternate timeline machines now.
Yeah, Aaron,
I
you have
know.
yours? Yeah, I was gonna say. Well, Aaron,
I
you
assuredly
lost.
do not. I've never even gone back in time. When you said that last episode, I was like, oh, sounds sweet.
Well, that's funny because you actually go forward in time. You lost. Drink whatever you have in front of you. I don't know what it is.
Okay, finishing this White Claw.
Ooh, what flavor? Is it blue acai?
Ooh, girl, no, it's natural lime.
Ugh.
The claw.
Oh, White Claw.
White Claw for a white boy.
That's what they say. I've been venturing back into war mode in Mechagon because I feel
You
like
should. It's fun.
yeah, well, because remember the first week it released, it was rough. It was.
And let me say, last episode we said that there was no reason to ever turn on war mode if you go to Mechagon, but I would like to redact that and say that there actually is a reason.
Yeah,
Because they literally have quests now that can only be done in war mode.
That is
So
one
that
of the reasons.
itself is the reason.
Yup. That's one of the big reasons. So I noticed with those quests coming up, and with Tuesday's reset against overwhelming odds now awards 415 gear, which isn't that impressive, but it helps people who are just coming back to catch up turn it on again. Boy, oh boy, I was in Mechagon doing my daily 200 rep war mode quest. I was on a shard that had so many alliance on it. Like, they're coming out again. I think people are coming back for season 3, and they're getting their essences. We were eating the horde alive. It was scary. We would see a guy. Hey, there's one guy and his 9 buddies hitting a rare. Let's kill him and take all their stuff. And I'm like, we can't do that. There's not enough of us. And then I watched the guy type in chat, or I saw him type, hey, horde up at Beastbot. And like 35 alliance swoop from the skies because of flying now and just demolish them. And I'm like, I'm tagging all of them with icicles so I can get my 25 horde kills and get my sweet Azurite gear. I think with this turn of like rewards, it's kind of helping, but how long can that sustain itself is the real question.
The real answer to that is until next week, once there's no reward now because enough people turned it on during the course of the week, then the Alliance won't feel any need to turn on War Mode because there's no reward, because apparently the Alliance don't fucking care about War Mode unless there's something in it for them. I'm only a little salty.
Where's the pride?
Where's the chapstick?
Where's the beef? The beef is with me and all of these wish-washy, fair-weather Alliance fans.
I had a pretty good experience recently with it. I do want to say one thing. People seem to not get this right anywhere. I've heard this on other podcasts. I've seen it a lot on like Reddit and also on the Blizzard forums. Your server no longer matters for War Mode. If you are experiencing a strong Horde over Alliance factor, it's not because of your server. If you have War Mode on, you're all put into a giant, big mixing pool, and it just pulls you out of that War Mode server to put you all together on one shard. So there's no more server connections with War Mode. So don't think that because, oh, I'm on a low-pop Alliance server, that's why I'm losing. No, that's not a factor anymore. I've seen that so many times on the internet that I'm like, what's going on, guys? This has been explained long ago.
No, you're losing because you are on a shard that doesn't have that many people, or because you're not in a group of people coordinated to take them down. There always is a group that is formed to take down the opposing faction. And we've been in them. We've been in like 40-man raids just wreaking havoc across Mechagon.
Blizzard needs to reevaluate how shards work again, because now I'm joining a 40-man raid, and when I leave the raid, I'm still on that shard again. So normally it takes you back to your own shard where you're not stacked, but we're just stacking one shard of Alliance constantly, even after you leave the group. And the problem is it's happening with the Horde, and there's way more Horde in War Mode than there are Alliance. There's got to be like probably 2 or 3 shards where Alliance win, and like 800 where it's all just Horde. You just got to get lucky.
It's the unfortunate truth.
So it's also been a few weeks since we've had one of our premiere segments on the podcast, and I would like to announce that this week we have another sexiest NPC of the week.
Ooh.
Oh, boy.
Ooh, who is it?
Sorry, it's going to be a little messy because it's been a while.
Oh, man, you've been building up that charm, right?
Yeah,
I'm going to release it all into your ears, listener.
Oh.
I've been polishing my pet charms.
It's true. He's
I've
been pet
been
battling.
running these missions.
Wait, hang on. I got one. I got some mana pearls.
Yeah, motherfucker.
I got 2 of them.
2 of them, huh? Wow, you suck.
I'm gonna give your mama a mana pearl necklace.
Wow.
Who is it? Who's the NPC?
Anyways, this week's sexiest NPC of the week is M80 Auto Blast. Which, like, okay, at first when we saw this NPC, we had a pretty drawn out debate about how you pronounce her name. It is spelled E-M-A-E-D-I.
Autoblast.
Autoblast.
Yeah, I thought for the longest time it was like Emady or like Emady. I'm like, that sounds right. Amady. But then we sent a screenshot of her to our non-WoW friends, and one of them was like, it's M80, right? And I was like, oh, yes, it is M80. It has to
like,
be.
Oh, nothing sexier than a good
Because she's a gun
pun.
lady.
Oh, yeah.
You can't beat a good pun.
M80 Autoblast is a beautiful, perfect gnome, a female gnome who helps you on the Gnomish Heritage Armor quest. And I think she's also involved in the getting people to Mechagon.
She may be.
I'm not
have
sure.
never seen her personally.
Oh, so maybe she only exists in my... Because, like, so I play a gnome and I got the armor. And so she helps me out with getting my whistle and stuff. So maybe that's just, as a mage, I never have to take the flight path, so I never have to look at any of the gnomes who are over there. I just port.
As a mage, I never have to take the flight path.
I just have my Hearthstone the Roast Bolt, and then I'm there. She has a big gun and knows how to use it. Let me tell you.
Ooh, girl, and they took that, like, sassy lady sit animation that I've only seen on Isa in the Stormwind Emissary, and they gave it to her. I pulled her up on my phone here when it was suggested in the production meeting, and I was like, oh, shit. She a hottie, though.
They spent all of their time giving her the sit animation, but they did just give her the same pink hair and pigtails that every female gnome seems to have.
I was literally just about to say that. I was about to be like, and like every good gnome woman, she has pink pigtails because they can't think of anything else.
I love her to death, but why did they give her the 7th Legion, like, boots to match that tabard? Those are different colors. They don't go together very well. Come on. She deserves better than that.
She's not perfect, okay, Slide? She's beautiful, and she's flawed, and that only makes her more so.
That's why she's our sexiest NPC of the week.
She is looking fine. Just as fine as that beautiful, beautiful mount that you get for blowing that Gnome Heritage Armor flight whistle, baby.
You just gotta bring that into every conversation, don't you? Well, you're gonna be upset when Jess Howlett shows up and puts me on his back, like Fabio.
Can you imagine if yours is just, you ride your little sad sailboat from boat day, and it just sends into the sky.
And it doesn't like smoothly transition in. It, like, you see it get caught on geometry, like, sorry guys, I gotta go to my boat.
Yeah, and mine is just, I blow the whistle, and then Velen, like, poofs in, and then he's like, well, you know, we would give you a ride on any of our spaceships, but last time we rode on our spaceships, you know what happened. So instead, I brought along Urel, and she comes out, and then she has you ride some of the orcs that she's chained and is now using as horses.
Oh, God. Oh.
You can borrow a slave or two. Please kill me. Not until after I get back to Coltiris.
I think I'd race change for that one. I would love to ride some orcs around. Ugh. But okay, I think we got really far from the topic. M80 Autoblast, you are our sexiest NPC of the week, and your award's in the mail. I'm gonna deliver it personally on my beautiful Gnomish Heritage Armor Flight Whistle Royal Purple Airplane.
Get out of here. The audience heard. They know.
They've heard several times at this point.
About what? About my beautiful Gnomish Flight Whistle Heritage Armor. Rubs nipples.
So we've come to the end of our show, which means it is time for our top toot, bottom boot, or medium moot. Immunization. What is your TTBBMM?
I would say this week's top toot of the week has to be the opening of Aszhara's Eternal Palace.
Ooh.
And in particular, I would say the music. I feel like it's been really, really epic, and I felt like it's really brought me into the atmosphere. But it made me realize that I've been basically cutting off my leg for the last year because I went into my settings and saw that my music has been one of my lowest sound settings, so I can barely hear it until I changed it yesterday. And I always wondered why everyone was always talking about music in places when I could barely hear them, and I feel like it was really dumb. So maybe this is actually turning into a bottom boot. Anyways.
I realized I haven't been using one of my 5 senses.
Yeah. Anyway.
I think it's a top 2. You want to know why? A lot of Warcraft players I've heard play with the sound off because they play Netflix. The sound in World of Warcraft, I get it. Maybe if you've been playing for 15 years or 13 years, not 2 years. I think the sound is so good in this game. There's so many tells.
Well, I would say, like, at least the music is really good, and the voice acting when it's there. They put a lot of work into that, too.
And the error messages, I can't do that. I can't do that.
Oh, bitch, I turned those off.
I actually try him back on because I miss hearing my little gnome voice. I can't do that. I can't do that right now. Hello? Hello? Hell no!
I don't have a target. I don't have a target.
I don't
Where's
have
the
a
target?
Ugh, anyways, that's my somewhere either a top toot or bottom boot of the week, however you take it. Slidewhistle, what is your TTBBMM of the week?
Man, I'm looking at my whiteboard again, and I don't know which one to talk about. I guess I'm gonna do a medium moot right now, which is really it's definitely a medium moot. So on Aszhara, there are so many secrets that I'm still learning about things that aren't explained to you, which I kind of like a lot. One of these things are these giant coral tree people. It's like Ordu and Odanu and you have to bring a different mob, bring the mob in front of them and kill that specific mob right then and there, and then the trees will be like, hey, you killed my cousin or my friend, and then they'll become sentient and then they'll attack you. One of these is, I think, Ordonu or something. You have to somehow drag a colossal sky ray, which is a specific elite sky ray that spawns above everything else.
Oh,
and
is that the big one?
It's the big sky ray, yeah. And you have to bring it to a tree and kill it in front of the tree. So, because flying was unlocked for me recently, it's very hard to do, and to get it done properly. So I was trying to help do it, to drag this big sky ray in front of a tree and kill it. However, I was on an alt at the time. I was on my hunter. And I realized at the time that the colossal sky ray was a beast. And I'm like, can I tame this colossal sky ray? And so
I can just imagine him holding his hand to the sky like, please let this work.
So everyone was trying so hard to get this down to the rare, and there was a lot of people trying to do it, and a lot of people in general chat saying, oh, Skyray, I see it. I see it in the sky at 3324. I just bring it down to the tree and kill it, and you're good. I grabbed the Skyray with my aggro. I landed on a faraway coral that nobody else was on, and I'm like, this is not a good thing to do. I should not try to tame this, because people want to kill this rare. I want to kill this rare. And I landed on top of the coral, and I began to tame it, and it let me tame it. It let me cast the tame.
Before I judge you any further, I just want to ask, is it any different than any of the other rays if you would have tamed them?
Wait.
It would have said, like, Colossal Sky Ray, I'm pretty sure, in its, name text.
So the funniest part is that I was on this coral, and I'm doing my cast, tame. And all the other people are on the coral next to me. They're just watching me do it. All you have to do is hit the mob, and it'll stop my tame. Nobody hit it. And I tamed it. I tamed the Colossal Sky Ray, and the model is the exact same as any other ray in Aszhara.
Does it say Colossal when you summon it, or no?
I named it Colossus, so yes, now it does.
Did it originally?
I just said, I don't remember. I don't think it did. I think it said Sky Ray.
This is the epitome of, buying McDonald's with solid gold.
So I tamed the Colossal Sky Ray, and I denied everybody, including me, the chance at getting more rep and more mana pearls on a 45 to 2 hour cooldown of it spawning again. People were gathered at the bottom. The non-flyers were like, please, sir, please bring down the Sky Ray.
Rain the ray upon us so that we may share in the benefits.
They were like, I am 85 rep away from being exalted, and this would give me flying.
People were so mad, and for the first time in my life, as a hunter, I was called the bad word. I don't approve of this.
You were called B?
I don't approve of this term, but
Don't say it.
I was called a huntard. And I don't endorse it.
No.
I don't endorse it at all. It's not a term which you should probably be using at all, now or honestly ever. But I was called that, and I was like, I guess I did kind of fuck up.
You knew what you were doing.
I did know what I was doing, but I didn't know if it would work. And when it started to work, nobody stopped me, including myself.
I was gonna say, you didn't stop.
And that's why it's a medium moot. Colossus sits in my pet stable, looking the same as any other manta ray.
I'm living for the people who like got the APB, like, oh, it's on the tree. So they showed up like a minute later, and then it's like they dramatically hop off their Hearth's team, like, no, this isn't right.
Because it's way worse than killing it, not in front of the tree. Because I just took it for vanity and for Skyray model.
But, like, not even a vanity. You could probably tame one of the little, like, things you could kill in 2 hits.
I thought maybe you'd be, like, bigger than the rest of them or something. It's a colossal Skyray. It's colossal. Anyway, that's my medium mood. I got a pet, but at what cost? Everything. Aaron, what's your top 2 medium mood, bottom boot?
Oh, mine's simple. I got a top 2. I won the battle for Aszhara by being a dirty, dirty realm hopper, baby.
Realm hopping.
As soon as I saw that boy pop off, like, oh, battle for Aszhara, I was like, time to find a battle for Aszhara realm. Got on it. I was in one fight. And I was like, I'll stand on guard for when they come back, and, like, we'll get them. Like, it'll be a hard-fought victory, but we'll get them. We took all 5, and then 6 minutes later, we won.
Yeah, it's funny because either way, but, like, it happens for us, too, if we aren't in a group and we see that it's happening. But the Horde, once I see that the Lions have all 5, they just give up. They probably do the same thing you did. They're like, oh, gotta hop over and find a Horde a Horde shard.
Yeah, it's just lots of hopping. And hey, you know what? A baby's gotta do what a baby's gotta do to get those victories.
It was so quick. You know how there's like a 100% bar where it's like, fill it to get bonus stuff? I could not. I only got to 30% because the Horde just left.
I've heard about this because back in the day, like a week and a half ago.
Literally last week.
Yeah, when this worked before, you would be on a shard that was winning like ass blasting like odds. Like you had like a billion to 1. And it would take forever. Even with 5 flags, it would take forever to get a victory. I remember for 15 minutes I'd be waiting for just did we win yet? The bar's going up very slowly. But apparently they buffed it. They had to have buffed it to make it 6-minute completable.
Yeah, because the first time that we went out of our way, I think last week, to shard hop to an alliance like shard in order to defeat this, it still ended up taking us like 25 minutes just to do it.
Yeah, I don't know what happened. I just know I was standing there, and then I looked up like, wow, no one's really coming, and it was at 2,500 of 3,000. I'm like, wow.
Damn. It's funny because the non-war mode equivalent, the Naga Commanders, fucking sucks. Blizzard, you need to buff the health of all these mobs. What happens in non-war mode is 5 commanders spawn, 2 in the east, 2 in the west, and like 1 in the middle, and they die so fast. So if you see the notification like the commanders are off, you gotta kill them. You start flying to 1, or you're at a flight path to 1. By the time you land, they're dead. You're like, oh god, now I'm gonna go to the west side, and you go to the west side, and guess what? They die too. They don't have enough health, and it's terrible. So I don't know, buff their health or something. Please do something to fix it. But I think we're about done here. I have some rep to grind. We have a raid to get ready for. Can I find you guys on the internet?
You can find me, Alex, or Immunization on Twitter at NewEraAlex.
You can find me, Aaron the Human, at The Bigacheesy on Twitter, or on Farmers Only as Hezekiah Goodcrumb.
And if you have any questions, comments, complaints, concerns, any new Najatar stuff I don't know about, any secrets you find, please tell me, because I'm still finding this shit out. You can send this to us at donotrelentlpod@gmail.com, or you can tweet at us at donotrelentlpod on Twitter. And with that, we're out of here. We'll see you guys next week. Hopefully we down this normal raid. And remember,
Another down! Do not relent!
Do Not Relent is a podcast within the 3HNC network, representing U.S. Proudmoore's premier podcasts.
That was a very good wish.